Hey, I'm going to show you guys how to use a tuner app on your phone to tune a guitar. This also would work for a ukulele, mandolin, bass guitar, whatever. And yes, I am in my Simpson jammies. But anyway, okay, so the first thing is with your guitar, and like I said, ukulele, whatever, but I'm gonna use the word guitar. You want to play a string and tune that string. You don't want other strings to be making noise, because if you have a couple of strings that are all ringing out, the tuner doesn't know which string you're trying to tune, and you won't get a very accurate read, or any read at all. It might just kind of flip out. So what you want to do is mute all the other strings, stop them from ringing, and a great way to do this is with your plucking hand. Most of you have 4 fingers and a thumb. That works out to 5. So on a guitar, which has 6 strings, you can then play a string and mute all the rest of the strings. All I'm doing is just touching the other 5 strings with my fingers and thumb. So I can go and just have that one string ring out. If it's another string, then I can just go. So what I did was I plucked the string and then used that finger to touch the other of the 5 strings. Because obviously if I need a string to pluck, I need a string to pluck. So, pluck with my thumb, and now I rest it on that A string. And my fingers are already in place on the D, G, B, and E strings. So that's the first most important thing. That is where a lot of people have difficulty and can't seem to get a tuner to work, because there's just too much information going into the tuner. You need just that one string. So anyway, so now we have, I'm banging this guitar around like crazy. Okay, so now we have my phone that I have to unlock. Okay, so what we do is I'm using an app called Soundcorset Tuner Metronome, and you can't see that because it's too far away. But anyway, so Soundcorset, it is definitely a very good tuner app. It's free, and there's other apps, but this is one that my son has used with his school, and the teacher at the high school told him that this is a good one, and sure enough, it's a good one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this. Okay. So now the tuners, you turn to raise or lower the pitch of the string. It tightens, which raises the pitch of the strings, or loosens the string, which lowers the pitch. So on a guitar, the thickest string, the lowest pitch string is an E. So on this, okay, so it's showing an E. Now we want this little red meter line to be right in the center of this green section. So it's a little too low, so I have to tune it up higher. And there we are. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm playing the string, letting it ring for a few seconds, plucking it again, letting it ring for a few seconds, because when you initially pluck the string, it actually goes a little bit sharp than what it's tuned to. So you definitely don't want to go, because you're tuning it right on that initial pluck, which is going to pull it a little bit sharp. Then as the note steadies and kind of evens off, as it starts to fade in volume, the tuner starts having trouble hearing it. So there's sort of a sweet spot of like a few seconds. So you pluck it, tune a little bit, pluck it, tune a little bit, pluck it, tune a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to tune the next string, which is on a guitar, the A. And there we are. Now the D. Okay, and another thing, I went a little bit past the D. So what I did was I went down below the D and tuned up to D. So you always want to tune up to the pitch. You don't want to tune down to the pitch, because then when you go to play, the string can slip a little bit if you've tuned down to pitch. You want to tune up to pitch, and that keeps the string, the playing section of the string, nice and tight and properly in tune. So now the G, too high, so I go below and come up to pitch. Now the B string. There we are. Now the high E. And there we are. I've now tuned all 6 strings. So even without explaining that all, it probably would have taken a total of like a minute or a minute and a half. So very simple, very easy. I know that you guys can handle it. Rock on.